right, yeah. All right, ready? What's up, guys? Another episode of the Vision Cast. Nick Karolakis, Tom Riley, our esteemed guest, the one, the only, Tony from Hummus Fit, my guy. How are you, man?
How we doing?
Good, man.
Thanks
Glad
for
to have
having
you.
me.
Thanks for coming.
Tony, thank you for coming, man. Awesome.
Yeah, finally
Thank you for
Tom
having
and
me.
Tony get to meet. This is nice.
Yeah.
I know.
Thank you for having me.
This is a long time coming.
Yeah.
This is very big.
I know we've been trying to get together for a while.
I know.
doubt.
I know. After, I came here, Tony was like, the only reason why I'm bringing in the drink is because of you.
Yeah.
Forget the brand, how good it is, and their reputation. Just because of you.
I'm not going to lie, I did say that.
I believe that.
Anything he wants to put in the stores,
Professional.
it's all.
That's awesome.
It's a
he
family.
says.
It's a loyalty thing. That's what it is.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe
Love you too, though.
it. No, no, listen, I respect that and I appreciate that. And we feel the same way about Nick.
Yeah,
No,
so I mean, like when I was telling him before you came in, so I met Tony, I want to say 7-8 years ago now.
Wow.
So I worked Nature's Bounty, all that jazz. So I would come in and my bosses would always buy me lunch from this place called Hummus. Then I went to that other place, right? Then I would say for about a week straight, I would come in, buy 2 or 3 meal preps, and this guy every day would check me out at the store. Like, just, I'm like, nice guy, fellow Greek. I thought he was Greek at first. And then I want to say Friday I came in and Tony was like, dude, like, just get a meal plan. Like, you come in every day.
Sign up. Just
do it. I would come in. Little did I know it was the owner. Sure. And then for the next 6 years, that's literally, Tony's been feeding me for the past half decade now. So
He's been feeding a lot of people for the last half decade, apparently.
And we built a nice
Hummus
friendship.
Meals is blowing up.
Yeah, and from there, we just got along, and relationship took off. Good dude, works hard, family man, my kind of guy.
I got to tell you, your reputation precedes yourself for sure. Everyone says the same thing about you.
Yeah.
So,
I told him, I said, there are very few people. Like, I try and surround myself like people in this room, just genuine people who work hard, family people, my kind of guy. There are very few people that I will say, one, outwork me and outwork this guy. Not saying that he does. But when it comes
I would believe it. I would believe it.
It's like nauseatingly work ethic on this side of the table. Like, disgusting. Like, I think like Nick comes to the office really early and like, I'm tired. I drink a lot of coffee. I get a lot done. Tony runs circles around me. It's not even close.
Let me ask this. I want to learn more about like the reason behind Hummus Fit, right? But what's the switch for you? What makes you that way with working like that? Like, you're obviously a small business owner. Food industry's real hard, right? Super competitive. Meal prep today, forget it. Super competitive. So like, I think you have a unique thing. Certainly you have a unique approach, right? Hummus Fit, you have a unique thing there. We're going to Mediterranean route. Obviously service, your work ethic, food tastes great. What's the switch for you? What, I hear that from everybody about you. Oh, this guy's a machine. He never shuts off. He's always working. What is it? Is it, you have a reason, a motive? What got you going? Or nothing?
It's probably my past.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's when you come from nothing, and you're giving an opportunity, you don't want to miss that.
Right.
You don't want to miss that. I think that's what it is. It's not about money. I don't think it's ever been about money for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably my past.
Okay.
So I want to achieve and give to my kids what wasn't given to me.
Love it. Yeah.
It's not about money. It's literally giving my family a better life.
Love it. Love it.
And it's the American dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is, isn't it? Like because you can, but everyone has a reason they can't,
Yep.
You can.
And I'm an immigrant. I wasn't born here.
Yeah. So like to harp on that. So like, I know your story because I've known you forever, but I want you to like really like start from like ground zero here.
Yeah. I don't even know how Hummus Fit started. How did you get here?
Okay. We'll start from.
Yeah. Give us from Jump Street. I want to know, honestly, because I don't know enough about you other than everyone says great things.
I was born in Turkey at 10 years old. My mother passed.
Oh, sorry.
At 11 years old, moved to the U.S. with my brother and my sister. It was just us. My father was in Turkey, so we didn't have parents. And we went through a lot. We went through a lot of...
Can't even imagine.
Yeah, a lot of struggles. My sister was, I think, 17 at the time. My brother's 21. They're parenting an 11-year-old.
Wow. That's a tough dynamic.
Yes, and they did it. If it wasn't for them, I would never be where I am now. So we went through a lot of struggles, and That's what I mean by opportunity.
Sure.
The first opportunity is definitely moving to the U.S. A lot of people take that for granted.
I think everybody
People
that already lives here.
that
takes it
already,
for-
yeah, I can't just put it together.
Yeah.
When I see someone that they don't notice it, they don't see, because this is all they know. If they knew what it was like somewhere else,
Yeah.
Greece, when was it, 2008?
Mm-hmm.
If they knew what it was like to live, struggle, I don't think they would wake up the same every day.
Exactly.
I guarantee it. Yeah. And I think that's probably the problem with most of the
core
resident
problem.
citizens of this country is that they can't appreciate that. So they don't know what they have. And
Well, they're born with it. And I think it also creates, the thing is when you're used to a certain behavior, this goes for everything in life. Whether it's you're waking up with your daily freedoms and liberties, whether it's waking up and having food, whatever it is, a continued, let's call it lifestyle, you get used to. And I think that you're given these freedoms when you're born here, and it's amazing. And that's why it's called the American dream. And you get so used to having these things and then so used to it. And if something minute happens, a little hiccup, this or that or the other, doesn't go your way, you become this self-entitled little brat that can get everything and anything that they want. And now you're just upset. Well, if you don't like it here, I implore you, go find somewhere else that's better.
I'll drive you to the airport.
Please.
Yeah.
I challenge you to do so. And if you do, let me know, because honestly, I don't want to go anywhere else. I fucking love this country.
Yeah.
There's no better place.
I would agree. I think the interesting thing for you as a small business owner and as an immigrant, right? Like the further the existing generations in this country get from their immigrant heritage, or however they got here, however they got started, what their grandparents did to put food on the table, right? So that it gets easier every generation. And I always feel that way when I talk about business and family and how they tie in and how you support your family and take care of people. Eventually, it's like built in because it was easy, and it gets easier. And the next generation, it gets easier. And then people feel entitled. And so, you know, I think those people don't even know that. They don't even see it. They're not even aware, right? Like, because they haven't had any experience going through it, and their generation, not really. And the generation before that, maybe a little bit, but those people might not be alive. And then generation before that had it really hard. They're not here. So no one told you. And so you can appreciate it as a first generation.
Of course,
Like,
I agree.
You know,
Totally agree.
you have firsthand knowledge of what it's like somewhere else, and putting it together here. Not that, you know, you just couldn't do it in some of these other places. Like,
There's no way. You can work your
not
whole
there
life
and get nowhere.
Can't buy a car.
Yeah.
Minimum wages where it's at.
Yep.
You can never own a home,
Yeah.
no matter how hard you work.
Yeah.
And you weren't given the opportunities.
Yeah. There aren't that many opportunities in some of these places.
No,
right?
there
Like, it
aren't.
depends on the country, I guess. But that's the interesting thing is, for me, I'm so impressed at your work ethic and your business and how you're thriving in such a competitive meal prep industry, right? In a densely populated area here in New York. But like on the flip side, broad scale, you're an immigrant that made it happen on your own, right? And it's a real example for your everyday American who just, they don't get it. Like, can't appreciate it, don't know how good they have it. And I think maybe as entrepreneurs, right, that bothers me. I'm sure it bothers you, right? Like, look how hard you work. And then you have people that complain about this, that, and the other thing while they're drinking their Starbucks on their iPhone.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you don't know what it's like. And listen, I didn't grow up in another country, so I don't. But we didn't grow up super rich. We mainstream. We had what we had, and that was it. We made the most of it. But like, I made it a point when I started, and I'm going to get a job. 15 at the time, I think, and I'm cleaning machines at a gym. But I had to get that job. I wanted to get started, and I wanted any help. I never took a handout. I never took anybody's referral. No one got me an interview. Zero. I won't do it. It's there. You just got to go get it. I don't want to be telling me they gave it to me. I want no excuses. I don't want to owe anybody anything. Zero. And I think right? And then so many of these people, they don't get it. And so that's why I can really appreciate where you're coming from, because I wish that story was told more. I wish your story was told more, right? And give people perspective.
Yeah, and I tell her for that
Come here
reason.
with no parents.
I'm not telling the story to get, oh, good job. I'm telling her so everyone can see the opportunities
Exactly.
that we have the moment we wake up here
Yeah,
in the U.S.
totally. I think that's the underserved message of the current generation.
Yeah, like my wife, my girlfriend at the time, Liana, she was always like, what are you working so hard for? We just met. We're 18, 19 years old. She's like, you're just nonstop. What are you working so much for? I took her to Turkey for 2 weeks.
How'd that go?
Amazing. She came back a new person.
Yeah. Perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I understand.
She saw poverty. She saw families barely making ends meet.
Sure.
So when she came back, it was
Just like, oh shit.
like what we have is just different.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, you know, from an international perspective, right? Like, so I went to Europe for the first time a couple of years ago and met my wife's extended family. She's Hungarian, her whole family, and went to the town my father-in-law is from. It's interesting, right? Small town in a smaller country. Their appreciation for almost anything is wild, right? Because they do not have, and then culturally, it's a great cultural country. They just wonderful people, just heart-driven people. But they don't ask, they don't want, they all get up and do. And you look at them, you're like, these people appreciate it and they don't really even have anything. They appreciate it.
And how was their hospitality?
Oh, I mean,
phenomenal.
That's
level
the thing
12.
that's what people will say in Greece too, is because like, at least nowadays, like you never, there's a Sebastian Maniscalco skit that like, he's like, you know, back in the day, the neighbors would come by. He's like, oh, there's an Entenmann's on top of the fridge.
I watched this the other night with my wife. It's so funny, right?
Yeah.
Like, when we were kids, like, there's company.
Yeah.
Get the Entenmann's
And
out.
and now someone rings the doorbell like, kids, get down.
Yeah.
Get down.
It's a different world today. People don't want that. The people coming over, they don't have the hospitality.
It's crazy because like when I was a kid, I would say, let's call it, 15, 16, right?
Yeah.
And like we would pass by the neighbors and my dad would be that guy. You've met my dad. He's just like, hey, how you doing? Just very
Nicest guy in the world.
personable person that just wants to say, hi, how you doing? You wave at a neighbor now, though. Who the fuck is this guy waving?
Right.
This
They don't
psychopath.
even,
Because the hospitality, and
There isn't any.
There's none. And when you go, like I went to Greece 3 years ago now, you're just walking around the block. People you don't even know will invite you into their home for a cup of coffee and a donut. Just because you're another walking, talking, breathing human being, they just want to talk to you. Hey, how you doing? That's it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And I saw that on a small scale when I was there for a couple weeks, and you just see the difference in the cultural approach and the people approach. And it's a very small town in a very small area that they just don't have, but they appreciate what they do have. And it makes you realize, like, they're almost amazed at what we have, what the opportunities, what we do. And you come back and like people are like, yeah, my Starbucks didn't get made fast enough. Like,
it's unreal.
Come on.
Yeah,
It's
people coming
unreal.
home. Oh, you forgot my sauce.
Yeah.
You kidding me? You fucking talking to me about sauce right now?
And that's the part that's interesting for me, right? Is your journey there and from immigrant to successful businessman here, appreciating that journey and the opportunity you got and you did something with. I think that's like, that tells the story.
I will say there is a consistent trait when it comes to successful people in life, is that they have a couple of instances that are in their life or a couple of people that they're thankful for. They have one or two moments that they're like, if it wasn't for that, like I wouldn't know what it's like to talk to another person or be grateful for this or be grateful for these freedoms. Everybody has a couple instances in their life where it's like, before we started this episode, we talked about COVID. Like when I worked for another company, I thought I was the shit, like I had money, cars, girls, everything, you name it, I had it. I'm being serious. No, I'm being serious. I thought I was the shit. COVID was a giant wake-up call for me.
Wake-up call.
Seriously, and not that I was a bad
good
person.
one, though.
A good one,
It
though.
was,
but like,
it was a good one in a lot of ways. It was a bad one in a lot of ways. Kept a lot of people home doing
yes,
nothing.
but for me in particular, like we said, it was the best thing that happened to you and your business. For me personally, as a person, like it brought me way down to a point where I was like I'm always very competitive. Tom knows this, but COVID put such a fucking chip on my shoulder, not even just looking for a job, but what I do. Like I was telling him, like when the brand, whatever it was, I was like ready to go to my boss and say, I want to run this business, whatever. I would have fucking ran that business into the ground if I was given that opportunity. There's no way I could have done that.
It's hard.
But 99% of the stuff, and that I would say my best features now, I would say majority of them I've learned here, just day to day running a business. And that comes from getting everything taken away, stripped away. I genuinely think that was God saying, okay, yeah, you're getting a little too cocky. Let's bring you right back here.
Right.
You need to refresh, start over, learn, start from scratch, and then move your life forward. I genuinely think, like, I'm not a very, like, religious person, but I think everything happens for a reason, and I think it's all a test to see, okay, you have all this now. Let's see how he acts. All right, lesson number 2. Let's see how it goes this time. I'm not going to fuck it up this time.
Right.
There's no fucking chance. I'm going to make the most of this. You think this brand's popular now? Give me another year.
And that's the competitive edge, right?
Yeah.
That's the drive to succeed, to take advantage of the opportunity,
Exactly.
of the lesson, the life lesson, the business lesson that I'm sure a lot of people learned the hard way during COVID. But I think it just speaks volumes for guys that can succeed and thrive when the environment gets harder.
Honestly, their lesson's not even learned yet.
Yeah,
I mean,
I believe.
so like when we had that COVID conversation, right?
Yeah.
So I was telling him, he was like when he was just asking about you or whatever, I said, yeah, like, you know, we talk all the time, whatever. But I said, the one thing I will tell you is that Tony will tell you this himself. The best thing that happened to him was COVID, because we said no one wants to, you know, everyone wants to eat healthy and have good food. No one wants to go into these stores because the thing that could, you know, you have a 99% chance of surviving will get you. Let's not go there. But the best thing that happened to him was like, all right, these people don't want to come in. I got to get them their food. It's kind of like the aspect of like, you want something, go fucking get it.
Yeah. We were doing meal prep for years and we didn't deliver to homes.
Yeah.
I was amazed at that when Nick told me that.
Killed
You
it,
didn't
though.
delivery
You know,
before.
yeah. You know what? I needed that push.
Yeah.
I was afraid the logistics wouldn't work. I couldn't handle it and etc. But when COVID happened, I had no choice.
Back
We had
against
to
the
do
wall. You had to burn the boats.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I
That's
had
what it
to
is,
drive
isn't it?
24 hours to get the meals
Yep.
to the customer, I was going to do it.
Yeah.
I was ready.
Yep.
So we started
The delivery.
delivering. It was Suffolk
I
first.
was so excited when that happened, by the way. And the thing is, though, when
You mean
COVID,
I don't have to come in?
no, but when COVID first started, like, you remember, every week I was just like, yo, you open? I got to come up. He was like, what are you doing here? I was like one of three people to come in. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Mhm.
That is
And
great.
Yeah,
But
but
that's when he put me onto it. I was ordering, you know,
Yeah, I
semi
remember.
regularly.
I remember we got on a phone call.
Yeah. For me, that I appreciate that, right? Like your ability to backs against the wall. It seems like it just got harder. You turned it into a positive. You figured out how to
Yeah.
make it work,
It
right?
It definitely got harder.
Yeah.
Because I had employees that were concerned. Like, what's going to happen? Are we
Yep.
going to lose our jobs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Business is slow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I promised everybody,
Yeah.
I said, nothing's going to slow us down.
And I think that's a testament to the person that you are as a whole. Is like, listen, me and Tom are more alike when it comes to how outspoken we are, or can be at times. You're very like laid back, you know, calm, cool, collected. But I think it's a personality thing. You're calm, cool, collected. I'm more outspoken, but like there's a similarity there where it's like my back's against the wall. You really have no fucking choice because you have your family, you have your athletes, you have your employees. Same thing goes with you. When
Yeah,
COVID happened to you guys,
There's a lot of people
when I
that
wasn't
count
here.
on you, from an end consumer to a retailer to an employee to
family.
the warehouse guys, that your family, you gotta
Everybody.
feed your family. And that's the thing, you know, when you look at it, small business, really any business, but small business owner, right? Like we got to make it work. It's
You
not
gotta have that weight on
what
your
do we do to
shoulder.
get out of it? It's what do we do to make it work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the big difference, I think. And it was for us, right? Like we saw as time went on, brands were going out, distributors were going out, people couldn't cut it, couldn't figure it out. It exposed a lot of bad businesses that weren't healthy before, and it exposed a lot of people that couldn't work with their back against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an advantage for you. It's an advantage for me. And I think there's some people that succeeded too. There's people that figured out how to make D2C or delivery work. And but if you couldn't pivot and make moves,
Yeah, I was gonna
you're not
say.
going to be in the game. Like
I was gonna say, is that in terms of like let's call it like, could they not like hang in terms of like the long haul? Like they couldn't keep up or they couldn't adjust in terms of like, all right, like this is what we're dealing with. They just didn't have the ability, or was it, do you think, more or so less the manpower?
You know, I think in our space specifically, and consumer product goods industry really as a whole, right? So really anything with consumer products. But let's just talk about the supplement industry for a second. The challenge was multifaceted. Supply chain, plastic, can't get a lid, can't get a bottle. What's your label made out of? Where does your label come from? Where are you in line in printing? Where are you in line of production? Protein price started fluctuating within 6 to 9 months. So there was so many variables from raw materials to plastic that you couldn't. It was really a hot potato. Like, what do you do? Who can get it made? Who can get it made fast enough? Who can get it delivered fast enough? And so, I think an advantage for us was really twofold. We're very nimble, right? We work well with our back against the wall. My partner Frank and I are just good at that. And number two, I think it's that working overtime, that experience, that constant hard work, you develop connections and relationships that help you stay nimble. If If you've got the right network, you can make stuff work. And so I think for us, that was really the game changer, was saying, okay, we work well with our head in the blender. We work well with our backs against the wall. I'm not afraid of this. I'm ready. Let's go. And it's going to be hard. And you're going to, you know, cash is king. There's going to be months we didn't make any money, but like the business is going to move forward. We're going to truck forward. And I think you saw a lot of guys fall off, and you saw the people that couldn't handle it, couldn't take it, get exposed. And now they're gone. And I'm good with that. I'll play back against the wall all day long. I'm good with that. I'm not worried. And I think that's what you bring to the table for your industry. And it's probably why you flourish before and after COVID, because that's kind of how you are, right? And I think that's what separates the people that are going to make it in the long run, regardless of what level of success you get at it, and the people that can't hack it. And
long run.
It's a long game. If you're not in it for the long game, you shouldn't play the game. I don't care how fast you think you can get there.
Right there.
Yeah, we were talking before.
Yeah,
you were talking about the long run.
Yeah,
between what you have in your products, the quality stuff you have.
Yeah,
in there.
we were talking about that before. Yeah, that's right. And it's the same thing with the meals, right? You don't cut corners. You don't. You know, it doesn't mean you don't make mistakes, but you don't cut corners. You don't cut quality. You don't cut what you're delivering to the customer. And if you don't do that, and you stand by the principle, it's not going to be easy. It's not always going to be fun. But if you can make it work, if you can stay in the ring long enough, you got a shot. And I think that's what we did. I know that's what you did. That's what made me a customer of Hummus Fit. But you know, if you want to hang, you got to be willing to go every round, no matter what.
No matter what.
Yep.
Win at all costs. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Comes back to sacrifice.
You got to sacrifice.
Yeah. Who knows it better than you? You came with nothing.
I mean, I don't take away from you, Nick. I know you work hard. Everybody works hard.
Yeah.
But we all sacrifice something.
Yeah.
Whether it's personal time, family time.
Yeah.
No, you know this.
I
Do you work 8 hours a day?
My wife.
Do you go home when there's an order that you have to put in?
No.
If it doesn't go like it, no.
Yeah.
You don't go home until it's done.
Almost since I can remember, but even before this at our last company, you know, all right, honey, I'm on my way home. 20 minutes go by. I got an order. It's a West Coast customer. We're on the East Coast. There's a time for it. I got to get it entered. I got to get it processed. It goes in. I'm home late. I missed the dinner. I missed my daughter saying something new for the first time. She was 7 days old. I flew out for a week. Like, we had board meetings. You're going to sacrifice along the way. Yeah. You got to make the right decisions. You're going to take some chances. You're going to take some risks. But listen, there's some wins, there's some losses. It's a long game.
Yeah. And I think when it comes to that, though, I think you bring up a good point. I think like everyone can say there's going to be wins, there's going to be losses. And, you know, I think there's a lot of people who, I don't want to say walk the walk.
Yeah.
But like, I think there's a lot of people that are afraid to kind of pull the trigger because they're afraid that they're going to make the bad decision. And because they're afraid to make that bad decision, they don't make one, period.
Yeah.
And then they lose out on what could have been a great opportunity. So I think you have to find a happy medium in kind of processing those opportunities as they come and kind of picking your spots. Because you also don't want to jump at every opportunity. You have to find balance. But I think the point that you're trying to drive home is like, dude, like you're either going to have to give something up. It's not just going to come your way. And I think that's what gets lost to the beginning. The first topic that we talked about is all these liberties that we have, all these opportunities that we have. Like, yeah, sacrifice comes, but you're blessed to even have these opportunities to begin with.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity.
Yeah. It's all there.
It's up to you to.
Yeah.
If you don't,
nothing's going to here's your business, Tony.
Yeah.
Congratulations. No, motherfucker, that shit's
There's
mine.
no
I worked
handouts.
for it, and
There's
that's
no
that.
handouts.
No.
And you know what is crazy, because we live in an age where, you know, the government tries to give people who are lazy handouts, but there really aren't and shouldn't be in real life, right? And you should be okay that way. The opportunity is there, not the handout. Big difference. And you have to be willing to rack up the losses and keep going and be willing to put in, you know, we always say put in the work, but like it's a long game.
It's a cliche, but it's so true.
And then it could be your craft. You could be an artist. You could be whatever. It doesn't matter. You could be a bodybuilder. Look how long it took Ronnie to get to the top. It took Ronnie years. That dude had shows he didn't even place. So like, I don't really care what sport, business, it could be a job. You could be a small business owner. You have to apply yourself, and back against the wall, you got to be able to compete. If you're going to run into the corner face first, I'm sorry, you're going to lose the game. And I can't help you with that.
In 2009, me and my brother-in-law opened up a bar.
Tough business.
He had some money. I was 17, 18 at the time. We opened up the business. It was open until 2016. For 7 years, I didn't get paid a dime.
Wow.
Not because the business was making money. We didn't take home. It was, I lived in my sister's house. They paid for my insurance. They paid for everything. I didn't get paid a dime. Me and my partner now, he's still my partner. We're talking about, I said, because my employees were just all talking about, we've always been entrepreneur.
They always think it's easy.
I'm like, dude, I didn't get paid a dime for 7 years. Yeah. And I still had the same energy.
Yep.
I still went into work for 15, 16 hours.
Yep.
So that is another point that I will say. And that was like, that's why I love working for people like Tom and Frank too, is because like every day, like I'll come into work, whatever, like we have a good time and we have our disagreements, but like no matter what, I know every single day, like the people in this building are coming into work every day with the same energy as when they first started in this business. It's never just like, oh, it's whatever, like I got to go to work. No,
Very
because
important.
They care about it. They love it. I know they love it. And as an employee, do you know how like just it kind of not puts my mind at ease is because, listen, I've had some shitty fucking, workplace environments that I've been in the past and the great learning experiences. But knowing that, like, I know every day that, like, whether it's a customer or we got to work on a label, he's going to give me everything he has. Why do you think I do what I do? Not just, I love it. It's fun, but like, I'll run through a wall for this guy. But that's how it should be.
But if he wasn't the way he is,
I wouldn't be the way
it doesn't matter how great your energy is.
No.
How much you love to sacrifice. If he didn't have that in him,
it doesn't work.
Exactly.
You can't ask for it and not put it back in.
Exactly.
If one guy's putting it in the tank, everybody's putting it in the tank.
Exactly.
And if you're not putting it in the tank, get the fuck out of the car.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying. And I think that's the message that gets lost. I have friends, family, colleagues, I can't even tell you, right? Like, and you could read it like a book. These people, over time, you crazy for work until 10 o'clock at night. You crazy for working a weekend. Why'd you work the extra job? Why are you doing this at night, not getting paid for it? Why'd you go 2 years running the brand, making like nothing, virtually nothing, right? Just insurance. And people thought that was nuts. And now you see people, and you talk to them 2 years later, oh, man, how you guys look like you're doing good, or this is working out, or you know how much time, you don't even know. You can't quantify what I put into this.
VMI is, it's doing good. I see a lot of people with the drinks now, or I see all over social media.
And those are the same people that say they can't do it, didn't have the opportunity. Listen, when you were at the bar and I was at the office, that's the difference. And that'll always be the difference. You either wanted it or you didn't, but don't complain later and then act like I didn't put the work in.
I think that's my biggest pet peeve. I would have to say one of my top pet peeves is that like and we talked about this before, but like it's that must be nice. Yeah, if you fucking knew, like just me alone, just me, forget like the business owner, just the marketing guy alone, what I do on a day to day and just shit, dude, I have no social life. I barely see my own family.
Right.
I'm here 95% of the time, just trying to learn, let alone do my job. If you knew half the shit that we do every single day, let alone the guy who owns the place, dude, you have no idea.
You probably see this, and it may be a different terminology, right? But historically, I always feel like I can pinpoint where those people in my life, when they come and go, there's a big difference between the guy that says congratulations and the guy that says, hey, it must be nice.
Okay. Yep.
Somebody is happy for you. The other person is either jealous or doesn't respect the work. I'm okay if you don't, but what are we talking for? Right? Like it is what it is. You didn't put it in. Don't be mad at me. You hated on when I was putting the work in and we weren't hanging out. And now you hate on the fact, that it's the other way.
I don't
hard,
mind
right?
those people.
You know what? For me, it's more of I don't need the pat on the back. I don't need the congratulations, and I don't think any of us should. But I don't need the must be nice either. Like if you don't like it, okay, that's your life.
You got to live with that. Yeah. I don't care. Right. You want to say that?
You wake up with your decisions. I'll wake up with mine.
I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, remember the guy that said must be nice? Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I think there's also a preconceived notion that, like, listen, I've never owned my own business, but I've worked for a lot of people that have. And I think
learning
I'm being serious though. Like my uncles own 3 businesses. They own restaurants. I know you for a long time. I've worked for Tom for almost 2 years. Do you know how much I've learned in like the past 5, just alone working here? But I think there's a preconceived notion that like when you start your own business, I don't think people are ready for the fucking undertaking that they're about to step into. You're gonna it's the quote.
I wasn't.
No, but I'm saying I
wasn't ready.
I think the quote that I put up with Priscilla the other day was like, you're gonna have to work for a long fucking time. You're getting nothing in return, and guess what? You're gonna have to eat shit for a while.
And the reality is, almost nobody will clap until they think you're winning.
No, unless it's cool to clap for you. That's what
It's just, and that's the thing, right? Like, and you don't need that, but I do remember that. I'm not mad at those people, but I carry the chip. I'm good with that. I know you were there and you weren't clapping. You know,
I have 2 or 3 people that were there from day one when nobody believed in hummus.
Yeah.
Not, just 2, 3 people.
I had people try and talk me out of this.
Yeah,
It's
right.
crazy. What? Yeah, it's
when you. It's funny. I guess coming from like my side of the table. Looking back, I mean, you guys are also, have people that you, like you said, they were beside you, but they weren't like by your side. If that makes sense.
I mean, without my wife, there's no question. I wouldn't. Yeah. I'd be on the street most likely.
Yeah.
Like,
I have about 4 or 5 people like
no
that.
question. Yeah. I mean, it starts with a
team.
core group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my wife and my business partner, Frank, and my other business partner, John, like,
Rock solid.
And you have those extended people. Like my father-in-law has supported me since day one. He's always felt like I can put the work in, go make it happen. And there's people that think you're crazy. They're close relatives or distant friends. It is what it is. But yeah, no, I like no question when people say, "Oh, I did this or I did that." I'm the first to admit there's people that try to talk me out of it. I definitely wasn't prepared for the struggles I was going to face because you just don't know stuff that's going to happen and stuff you're not prepared for. And no doubt, without my wife, I'd be like, we wouldn't even have gotten started. She was helping me tape paper labels to bottles nights before a presentation. I can't even tell you. And that's the other side of it is appreciating, knowing who was there, what the impact was, and enjoying that the rest of the journey with them, right? It happens to be my wife in my case, right? And my business partners. But I think a lot of people on the outside miss that. I'm not doing this for me. I love this. And my goal is to help people. I want to make money doing it. But my goal is to help people. I want to make quality shit that people like, that people take, and that improves people's workouts and lives. But there's people that help me make it happen.
Of course, it's
Next
teamwork.
one of them. Yeah. So, you have to have that perspective. You got to put the work in and show the team you're willing to do it every day on day 99, on day 999. And then along the way, pay attention to who's in your circle taking care of you. And that's been a big thing for me. Yeah, 100%.
And I think having your wife on your side was definitely the big advantage.
Dude,
I have the
game
same
changing.
I have the same thing.
If you don't have, I don't know other people, but if you don't have the rock solid at home, I agree with you. It's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Agreed.
Solid.
Tony, I'm glad you came in. We covered a lot. I'm glad we got to finally meet. I think I'm going to order some
Thank
hummus
you for
meals
having
later.
me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Hummus Fit. Make sure everybody
Love
orders
this,
some.
by the way.
HummusFit.com.
Everybody. I know they're sipping on it.
All right. Awesome. Another episode in the books. Make sure you watch it.
Peace out, guys.
Push it to the limit, I can't go no more.